What if your problem isn't that you can't save money? What if your problem is that you are living in an economy designed to ensure you never have any? You look at your bank account and see a series of leaks. You aren't afraid of the work. You are paralyzed by the architecture. This is the consumer's paradox. It's perfectly captured in the phrase, "I have everything I was told would make me happy, yet I feel more behind than ever." Society has a word for you too. They call you middle class. Someone who works a good job but is a master of none of their own resources. And the anxiety that comes with that label is immense. It can feel like your greatest strength, your desire for a better life, is actually your biggest financial liability. Today, we are going to dismantle that anxiety. We will look at the geometry of financial manipulation. And we will offer a path for those of us who were never meant to be products in someone else's ecosystem. First, we need to understand why old financial advice feels like a trap. For the last century, the world praised the saver. The economy was a kind environment. The rules were clear. Work 40 years, put 10% in a 401k, and the interest will take care of you. Psychologists call this a predictable reward environment. It rewards patience. This is the world of the I-shaped wealth model. A single deep pillar of compounding interest. But that is not the world we live in anymore, is it? The world today is a wicked economic environment. The rules are constantly changing, inflation is invisible, feedback is delayed, and the patterns of wealth are no longer obvious. Think of the difference between a gold miner and a high-frequency trader. A miner operates in a kind environment. The gold is there, you just have to dig. The trader works in a wicked one. Every second is new. The rules are hidden in algorithms. And your specialized knowledge from 5 years ago might be your downfall today. In a wicked economy, the slow saver has massive blind spots. To build wealth that fits the modern brain, you have to stop thinking in terms of budgeting and start thinking in terms of defense. The I-shaped person is the traditional saver. The opposite is the dash-shaped person, a mile wide and an inch deep. This is the trap most fall into. Buying a little bit of every trend, subscribing to every service, and having no real foundation. This lack of depth creates financial dysphoria, the feeling that you have no ground to stand on. But there is another shape. The most powerful one is the M-shaped financial identity. Or, the economic architect. Think of it like this. Pillar 1, your stable yield. This pays the bills. It's your base. Pillar 2, your psychological fortress. This is the deep knowledge of how you are being manipulated, knowing the neurology of marketing so well that you become immune to it. The horizontal bar. This is your optionality, your ability to pivot when the economy shifts. Suddenly, you aren't just a consumer. You become the person who can see the underlying structure of the market. A person who understands the sunk cost fallacy might suddenly see why they are staying in a dead-end job. A person who understands hedonic adaptation looks at a luxury car and doesn't see status, they see a dopamine debt they refuse to pay. That is FAR transfer. It's the ability to see the mechanism, not just the marketing. So, how do you build this M-shaped life? It requires financial serial mastery. You cannot build all your defenses at once. You must pick one trap to master at a time. Maybe for the next 6 months, you master the neurology of digital subscriptions. You hunt down every recurring leak. You don't do this because you're cheap. You do it because you are strategically quitting a system designed to bleed you dry. The final piece is a system. Your mind is a high-output factory of desires, but your willpower is a small workbench. If you try to fight the entire global economy with just your willpower, you will lose. This is why you need an external nervous system. Just as the sociologist Niklas Luhmann used a Zettelkasten to manage ideas, you need a system to manage your impulses. When you feel a fleeting obsession for a new purchase, don't fight it, capture it. Put it in a list. Wait 30 days, link it to the why. Over decades, these connections grow into a wealth of consciousness. You'll realize that the need for that new phone was actually a need for social validation that you can solve for free. That is the moment of magic. But it only happens if you capture the impulse so you can analyze it later. So, let's put this all together. You are not bad with money. You are a biological entity living in an environment specifically engineered to bypass your logic. Your brain was not designed for a world of infinite digital checkouts. This path won't always feel easy. But just having a map of the trap brings a sense of calm. The self-blame begins to fade, replaced by a quiet forensic confidence. Pick your first pillar. Build your defense with focus. Use your income as a platform, not a cage.